An invitation was sent to both candidates October 2022. This was a message sent to the candidates for them to make any input or raise any comments regarding this presidential debate they're supposed to hold. And yes, as we all see, there's a trend going on stating that Frank Chatty's team is not willing to form part of this presidential candidate. And that doesn't stop us from holding this program. So, with the one tonight, one of the two presidential candidates is here in August, and this and also from our viewers online. So, once again, I welcome you to UHAS Bills TV, and this is the Battle for SRC President interview. And again, let's welcome our guest in the house. I'd like him to introduce himself so that we all get to know him better. Over to you.
My name is Roger Max Kolutret. I'm a US SRC Federal Presidential Candidate, a fourth-year medical student. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us this evening. It's an honor to have you in our midst. Yeah, and this is going to be about 30 to 40 minutes discussion between us.
Okay.
So without really wasting much time, we'd like to take an opening statement from you.
To be very frank, I didn't prepare for an opening statement. But nonetheless, I think it's a bit unfortunate that the other candidates couldn't be here. It would have just been nice to have had him here so that we have a balanced discussion.
Yeah.
And there are no seeming claims of bias or anything, but all the same, I think we have to go forward. So I'm really looking forward to a very healthy and engaging discussion so that we can at least see different viewpoints from my perspective, from the public's perspective, probably from your perspective as well. Yes, so I'm hoping for a very engaging time.
Okay, so thank you very much, Mr. Roger. And at this point, we'll be taking some case study questions. Are you ready?
Case studies. That almost sounds like exam questions.
Exactly. UHAS is full of case studies here and
Case
there.
studies, sure.
So I bet you should be familiar with what is coming your way.
I think I'm familiar with case studies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Then if you are ready, I would like to proceed with your first case study based question.
Okay.
So it reads, Dinah is a student of the School of Nursing and Midwifery.
Okay.
Who went to Trafalgar Hospital last semester with severe abdominal pain. She told the nurses at the outpatient department that she was a student of UHAS. She was told to join the queue for almost 6 hours in constant pain. While in the queue, she saw a lecturer of hers who worked in the hospital and knew her. She told the lecturer of her symptoms and giving pain relief, after which she was seen and given treatment. She missed an interim assessment as well as 2 lectures that day due to the long time she spent at the hospital. Before leaving for the hospital, she told her friends she would be given priority or a different queue regarding the relationship UHAS have with the hospital. So my first question to you is, as SRC President, what will you do to prevent something like this from happening again?
Well, if unfortunately I've not been able to share all my policies because I'm trying to do the bit by bit thing. I don't want to flood people's PMs and become even more annoying than probably some people think I am at the moment. Yes, because we all get fed up with things. But basically, as part of my welfare and security policies, there's a policy that talks about priority care and treatment for UR students, both here at the Whole Teaching Hospital and at the Volta Regional Hospital.
Okay.
We realize that we are professionals, we are health professionals in the making. We are the very people that are going to treat these people who are sick and etc. Yeah. So the best thing we can do is to liaise with the relevant stakeholders, with the hospital administration, with our very own school management, and find a way to actually put it perhaps in writing. And a correct MOU, a valid MOU that would enable such priority care to actually be given to these students. Because you realize that in this scenario like this, the young lady lost the chance to take her eye. And that's not something that I think any of us would like, because we're in school for academics. Yes, so that's a policy I actually have that I think tackles this very adequately. Yes.
Okay, so that's very interesting, because I was actually to communicate it to our viewers that I'm sure by the end of this whole thing, most of the questions they have will be answered.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, if you are going to have this maybe relationship with the hospital administration to make sure students are seen as a priority,
Yes.
mostly you see when you get there, the managers and the administrators know that this is a UHA student,
Yes.
but the workers who tend to help us hand in hand,
Yes.
like the nurses, they don't really see you as a priority,
Yes.
as a UHA student. So how are you going to make sure that these nurses that also attend to us are going to see UHA students as a priority?
So I think at the end of the day, it just boils down to human relations and symbolism, right? Because what we are going to do is, first off, I think it will be prudent that we have ID cards to actually show we are UHA students. But then I know that once you're able to talk to higher ups or management, there's a trickle-down effect. So the workers liaise with management, they go along with the vision that management has. And it will also be very imperative that we have very good working relationships with these nurses and all the other people that take care of us at the hospital. I think that that framework would enable this to actually be a reality.
Okay, so thank you very much. That framework will actually make this a reality. So moving on to your next case study question. Alex is the firstborn to a mother of 5. His father died when he was in junior high school.
Oh.
His only supporting his mom, who took multiple jobs to keep him and his siblings in school.
Wow.
Alex always stayed at home for at least 1 month before reporting to school each semester, because he's challenged to wait for his school fees before he can come to school. Even with that, he's not able to pay in full, and this has been disturbing him. In what way do you think you can help Alex?
Alex sounds like a very sad boy. Yes, I'm not going to lie. That's a very sad situation you've described. I don't think any of us would like to be in that situation. He's the firstborn of 5.
Yeah. But do you really know some students on campus are having that challenge?
Yes. I'm aware of that. It's just this one is very extreme. Yes, firstborn of 5. Dad is dead.
Yeah.
Mom works multiple jobs.
Exactly.
He has to stay home for almost a month to come to school.
Yeah.
Alex is in need of a scholarship. That's what I think he is in need of, or financial support. And we know that in the past there have been certain avenues for such students to at least get fees.
Okay.
So what I'm actually hoping to do is to expand this, to look for external sponsors, such as different financial firms, etc., to actually help broaden the cap on the amounts that we can give to these individuals. That notwithstanding, as part of my welfare and security policies, which the hospital thing was a part of too,
Okay.
I want to establish a scholarship desk. Now, I didn't put the scholarship desk under academics because of this very reason. I feel that it's more of welfare.
Yeah.
If you know that there are opportunities out there, you are at peace in you.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily correlate directly to your academic work. It's an inference. So for me, what I want to do is to establish a scholarship desk, which will be manned by the academic affairs chairperson and in collaboration with the scholarship committee chairperson, so that any such opportunities are made known to the public. There are guidelines on how to apply, there's help on how to write certain letters. We just want to create the enabling environment where people feel they have options.
Okay.
So that is on one side, but then the main thing is we will identify individuals like this and collaborate with external sponsors to ensure that these people get the adequate funding that they deserve. Because this is a very sad person. If you can't pay your fees in full for almost, and this means it's something that's been happening. You are confused. You are thinking, my mom is 8. Yeah, that's it for me.
So you realize that in most cases, some of these children tend to be like academically good.
Yes.
So assuming this person is someone who is not academically good and is having some academic challenges,
yes,
would you still go in to help the person achieve the scholarship that you talk about?
So here's the thing. This is a very sensitive matter because scholarships are mostly awarded based on merit, right?
Yeah.
Great. So we if I say anything now, it will be inferences. For all we know, it could be that the person's academic performance is being hampered by the problems at home.
Exactly.
So what we need to do is to take time and identify these individuals and find ways to mitigate those challenges and see how it goes. Perhaps we will have sponsors that would like to put these individuals on probation. Nothing is too airtight or definitive.
Okay.
I just think it's nice to give people a chance to see what they can do, and at the end of the day, alleviate the best we can.
That's so nice of you. Okay, yes, I actually believe that sometimes these people are faced with challenges that tend to show up in their academics. So at least that will help one way or the other. So I think for now, we are done with our case study questions.
Wow, the exam is over.
But that doesn't mean that your questions are actually over.
Hey, wow. Okay.
These questions are actually coming from me.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. It's in categories regarding maybe school fees, transportation, and the others. So my first question is, what's your thoughts on the current school fees policy in UHAS?
The current school fees policy.
Yes.
Could you elaborate? What school fees policy exactly are you talking about?
You know, mostly, if before you like get access to your portal,
yes,
you have to make some payments before you get access to it. So let's say in a situation where you are not able to make even half payments, you wouldn't be able to register your courses and the rest. So you realize that at the end of the day, by the end of the semester, maybe you are lacking behind in course registration and facing some other challenges as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this issue is also a very sensitive one because you come to school to learn. If you haven't registered your courses, then sometimes you are even facing the threat of deferment.
Yeah.
I think this is a two-way street. We need to look at it from the point of the institution as well. The institution exists to educate us, yes, but the institution needs resources to run, which is why sometimes they have to use methods that are not very kind to get their money. But at the same time, depriving students of what brought them here isn't the best. So how do we exactly balance the two? We have to do extensive consultation with stakeholders. Once again, it comes to management. We have to be able to at least figure out a way that we can have a cutoff point of sorts. Maybe if it's 70%.
Okay.
By maybe middle of second semester. But then again, the problem there is that one might say students won't be necessarily motivated to make payments in the first semester.
Yeah.
So you see, that's why it's a delicate thing. You cannot exactly pinpoint one solution. But then again, there are always letters of undertaking to be written with certain promises to be attached. For me, I believe it can work like a credit system. When you borrow money from banks and financial institutions, they look at how often you pay, your payment habits, and that's what guarantees the kind of loans and etc. that you can take in the future. If you find yourself in a situation where you may not be able to make payments, but in the past you've honored your word and paid by the due date that you told the Director of Academic Affairs through your letter to the registrar that you would, then I think there is no problem. There won't be so much of a resistance in granting that. Yeah, so that's how I see it.
Okay, so thank you very much. And yes, still regarding the school fees as well, if you become the SRC president, is there any way you can communicate with the school management, like to take certain decisions regarding the school fees as well? Because probably they say it goes through a lot for the school fees to come by. Yes, but you realize that students are faced with challenges on campus and all those things. So if you are in the position, assuming you're in the position of the SRC president, what will you do to help maybe students that are facing some of these challenges? Is there anything you do to push, maybe communicate with management or something to know the actual things and communicate it to the student populace as well?
Please elaborate on these challenges that you're talking about.
So like, as I was saying, regarding the school fees,
yes.
Yeah, I think we read out certain things concerning school fees, and we were told management is the one that like coordinates everything.
Yes.
So I'm saying that if you become the SRC president, is there any way you talk to management to maybe slow down certain things? Like, assuming you haven't paid half of your school fees, maybe you wouldn't get access to your portal. So is there any way you can convince management one way or the other, like talk for the student populace, so that even if you haven't paid full and you've paid part, you should be able to actually access it? And also you should be able to motivate the students to still pay the half and not say because maybe they've gotten access to their portal, there's no need to pay the extra half. So is there any way you can be bargaining with both students and management towards the school fees?
You know, that the credit system analogy I told you about works both ways. Because if you know you need more loans, you will make sure you honor your repayment dates.
Okay.
And if your creditor, which in this case will be the management, knows that you were worthy and you're a trustworthy customer, there is no way that they will not give you that loan. So that system works both ways. We are going to look at your history. We are going to look at how your behavior is with regards to payment of fees. And that will cut across both ways. Because if you're a student and you know that, I defaulted this time, and so I won't get the chance again, then obviously you are motivated to find the money from elsewhere because you know you won't be given the chance again. Yes. So that's what we'll do. Of course, there are always challenges, but I believe that we can still keep successful.
Okay, so that's very nice of you. And my next question is,
Hey, the way I can't kill me.
No, not actually.
Oh, okay.
So
great.
The sub-questions under the school fees has one way or the other been answered through our conversation. So
that's fine.
I'll move on to the transportation aspect.
Great.
My question is,
yes,
are we facing transportation issues on campus?
We are.
So if we are facing transportation issues on campus, what are you going to do to curb these problems we are facing with transportation?
I think the answer to most of the questions you're asking is, once again, liaise with the relevant stakeholders. We need to talk to the transport companies. You see, we are engaging the transport companies, yes, but we offer them a customer base. Without our customer base, they cannot operate on campus. So it's not very nice when you've woken up, put on your best for maybe your Monday presentation, put on your cologne and all of that, and you get to the bus and you have to be really close to someone's armpit or really close to it's just weird, you know, because it takes out, I mean, you come out with so much confidence. Yes, today's my day, I'm going to kill the presentation. And then in the bus you're just squeezed and there's so much heat and you're not comfortable. It ruins your vibe for the day.
Yeah.
So there's a problem of overpacking, which is probably from inadequate buses or from let's just say probably a transport schedule that could be fine-tuned, yes, so that there's not so much aggregation in buses. Okay. So we can push for more buses, we can lobby with these people to get actual transport schedules, or even have certain buses that only operate within certain catchment areas. There are so many different options. And God willing, if I should be elected president, that is what I'm going to work on with my transport committee chair. We are going to make sure that we draw something that is feasible. We're all packed, and it was weird. Yes. So.
Okay, so thank you very much. And still regarding transportation, do you have any transport plans for the members of Hohoi campus?
Oh, yes. It's a permanent site, not the hostel, permanent site. Yes, so if there will be any building projects, that will probably be the most realistic and feasible place to put them. And if you look at the plan of the school, you realize that the school has plans to move most of the population there. So we are thinking long term. We are not short-sighted, we are not myopic. We are talking about things that are feasible, things that for years to come, people will actually look at and be proud of. So what we want to do is, we want to use a BOOT deal. In finance, BOOT is build, own, operate, transfer.
Okay.
So we reach an agreement with an external partner who puts up the building. I'm looking at kwata, excuse me to use that word. I like that word a lot. Yes, I'm looking at kwata, a 500 room.
Okay.
500 room hostel. Yes. So the external investor comes in, puts up the hostel, owns and operates it for a while, a period of time, and then hands it over.
Okay.
Yes, that's what we are looking at. But of course, we will need to make certain financial projections and forecasts and all of that. But I'm very competently assured that I have a team that can really handle that. Yes, okay. Yes. Because it's sad. People don't get hostels to live in. Yes.
Okay. So regarding hostels as well,
yes.
Why do you think most continuous students don't like to stay in the school hall or hostels that we have?
Why do I think? To be very honest, I don't like to speculate, and you're asking me to speculate. You're asking me to put words into people's mouths and examine people's brains. Well, so I should speculate. That's what you want me to do.
Oh yeah, like most students are faced with maybe one or two things. That's why they move out. So if you should answer this, yes. Those that are victims will know themselves.
Should I speculate?
Probably, I can give you an example.
Yes.
Mostly people say transportation issues.
Yes.
So where they have their lectures and where they stay probably yes. might be far.
Yes.
So there's the need to move out.
Yes.
Then there are other issues in relation to that. So yes. I'm sure maybe you can give us some of the reasons why they move.
Why they move out?
Yes. After answering that, there's a follow-up question on that.
Okay, so I'm going to speculate.
Okay.
Since you want me to speculate. Sure, so there's a distance. Lectures and residences, places of lecture and residences. There's that distance. Two, I think I've heard a couple of people complain about privacy. Okay. All our rooms are 4. In fact, some rooms are even 5, 6.
Really?
So yes. At the Fiat, I think I've seen 5, 6. Where else? There's another hostel, or maybe not. Well, but I'm very confident the Fiat has a large number of rooms. Yes. So there's the privacy part.
Okay.
There's also the part about how sometimes the security personnel treat people. Yes. Personally, I had that encounter in Hohoi. I had an encounter with about 2 young ladies who were bitterly complaining about how the security man at their hostel locks the door and treats them like they are little children. Yeah. I'm quoting verbatim.
Okay.
He treats us like we are little children. Isn't this the university? I did empathize with them, but I also noted that as a security personnel, you have a duty to ensure that all the students in that hostel are safe and sound. Yes. So there was that. And then there's also the fact that you have to move out at level 100, of course. Yes, it's kind of compulsory. But then people apply. People still apply to be in hostels.
Okay, so right there, on the fact that you have to move out after level 100.
Yes.
But I realize that sometimes there are people that stays throughout their...
Yes.
Like here.
Yes.
So I was saying, to add a follow-up question.
Yes.
Assuming you should become the SRC president,
yes.
what would you do to help these continuing students that really want to stay back in the hostel? Not looking at distance, but just looking at access to the hostel and security, either not disturbing them or other issues regarding the hostel.
It's all about dialogue, really. It's all about dialogue. These are problems that every university faces. Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has an accommodation problem almost every year. It's even worse for University of Ghana, Legon. We see it all the time. It happens. The only advantage that we have is perhaps our smaller number in terms of population.
Okay.
But then again, it's all about dialogue. We can talk to these security personnel. We can reach certain agreements. They are people too. They can empathize. We can talk to management as well to liaise with these people. As regards the issue we are talking about, we could perhaps find out a way to get a database of students who would like to stay after the semester, after their first year is over. That enables us to plan ahead for freshers that are coming. You see, once we have the data and we're on the ground, it makes everything much easier instead of just waiting for the problem to hit us first. So we are going to be proactive.
Okay.
My team is all about proactiveness. Yes, I do not like to wait for things to hit before you counteract. It's better to try and at least some sort of pseudo clairvoyance, yes, to envision things before they happen so that you can solve them when they hit. Yes, so that's it.
Okay, so Team Roger is proactive.
We are proactive.
Okay, that's
We are proactive.
nice.
Yes, yes. Proactive is us. We are proactive. Proactive is Amidonium. Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much. That's all on the accommodation issue for now. So moving on to academics.
Yes.
What plans do you have for the student body in terms of academics?
In terms of academics, I have a lot.
Because I learned some time ago,
Yes.
you were having some classes, or should I say lecture sessions
yes,
for
yes,
freshers
yes.
regarding...
Very good times. Is it just me or it's a little hot in here? Do you feel hot too?
Oh yes, a
Okay,
little.
okay, that's fine. Anyway, so there's a thing about academics. I'm very glad you brought in that. I'm very invested about improving people's academic lives. That is why we are here.
Okay.
And well, maybe it's just how I am. I like to be with people who can teach me, to make friends with people who can teach me, to network with people who can teach me, because I believe that life is all about learning.
Okay.
So that idea was conceived by myself, my campaign manager, Jeff Tabuating, and then one other friend of mine. He's also a deputy campaign manager, Hubert Amponsa. We felt that was how we could make the most impact, because we realized we were getting a lot of reports from friends of ours who were freshers that, oh, this course is hard, so the exams, how will they do it, all of that. So we put together those classes for both campuses. We didn't leave Hohoe out. I'm very passionate about Hohoe because it always looks like they are deprived about of certain things. So we did that. The very first week it started, I was in Hohoe. Okay. Because I wanted to make sure it took off there. For who, I had no doubt that it would take off. But for Hohoe, I wanted to be there in person to ensure that it occurred. Because for who, these are people I have worked with.
Yeah.
Hohoe was kind of a new environment for me, so I wanted to be there and ensure that everything works. So God being so good, we sent out forms about, I think in total, we got about 150 people registering. We had different classes. People even texted me that their classes really helped. They liked the way it went on the exam. Yes, unfortunately, I think that's my weakness. I don't really like to post when I have helped someone. Okay. I don't know, but I was very happy. I was overjoyed. I was enjoying it. In fact, this particular semester that's just ended, I also taught some people. Okay. However, that wasn't on a public scale because the election brouhaha was the election timeline was a bit fuzzy, and I couldn't really put that up. So it happened this sem too. I realized a lot of the people I taught really enjoyed it. Someone actually texted me, I think that was the information literacy paper. I think she was a nursing student. Hey, what you taught me, Kemu? Hey. It was really good. It was really good. It's just nice to see that you're making impact in people's life. Yes.
That's really nice. At least a student's leader and a student's teacher. That's nice. Okay, so in case you become the SRC president,
Yes.
is there any plans or like are there any plans you have to make these type of sessions of yours more public than it is? You see, mostly maybe you have to hold it at certain hostels, but maybe is there any plans that you have to make it public, like example hosting it at maybe Trafalgar Auditorium or in one of the C0 classes for people to come around?
Yes, that's been a challenge because, you know, the last time we ran it, we faced certain challenges with logistics because, you know, sometimes people moving from their hostel to one another. But I realized the people who were most motivated did that. But that's not an excuse. To be very honest with you, I have planned of hosting classes on Zoom.
Okay.
It's just about the effectiveness. But I'm fairly confident that in this new age of technology, we can do that. Because, I mean, people can raise their hands on Zoom. People can tell you, oh, is this part I didn't get and all of that. There are pointers, there are drawing spaces. That will enable way more people to join remotely. Because CO1 has a capacity, CO3 has a capacity, CO2 has a capacity. What happens when half of the freshmen decide that they want to enroll into this class? Then we have a big problem. So for me, I think that's it. I am a very, 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 very enthusiastic person when it comes to technology.
Okay.
So I think we can possibly look at that in the long term. But if we are going to do it locally, then probably we'll have to get somewhere like maybe the Trafalgar Auditorium or something. But I think Zoom is the most feasible and pragmatic in these current circumstances.
So regarding social media platforms,
Yes.
but do you realize there are certain challenges using these platforms?
Yes.
Like network
Yes.
issues and all those
Yes.
things. Probably our friends in Dave might even be having network challenges
Yes.
in joining. So don't you think it would be quite interesting if it should be some kind of formal thing, maybe hosted in the auditorium, which can hold a whole number of students there?
Yeah.
Like, is there any way you can fight for it to happen there?
So
in
this
case
is what
you
we are
become the
going to do.
president?
The last time I held a chemistry class, this is what I almost did. I was hosting a local one and people were going to join online.
Okay.
So that we cater for those who, for one reason or the other, cannot connect remotely.
Okay.
We can always do a hybrid thing. It's a beautiful world. Technology makes everything very nice. So let's not relent on that. We can use it. Yeah.
Okay, so and with that, I have a different question for you.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the VC's idea of graduating students paying $1 equivalent to support the school?
Yes.
I hope you've heard about it.
I did hear about it.
Okay,
The
sure.
VC had meetings with every faculty. The VT had meetings with every faculty. So, as regards that, what exactly are you asking? Do I agree? Do I not agree? What are you
Yes.
asking?
Do you agree or do you not agree with the fact that she's encouraging students to pay some? I guess they said what, $1 or is it $10?
Yes, I think it was $1.
Okay, to maybe support the school before graduating.
Yes.
Do you have maybe anything to say about that? Or you think it's a good idea?
I have certain things to say. As always, I think we need to look at things from the number of perspectives available. We are in a young school, a school that is still developing. We are not at par with other universities that are well renowned in terms of things like infrastructure, for instance. There are still buildings going on at PEM site. There are still temporary buildings and all of that. So if there's a call for people to donate $1, I do admit that we are in hard times, in critical times. But if there's a call for people to donate $1 to seeing that their institution flourish, for me, I think we have a sense of patriotism. It would feed it. I'm not saying you, if you don't give, it means you're not a patriot. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Sure.
I'm just saying in the spirit of patriotism, I can understand it. Because if we are US patriots or we are patriots of US, then it does make sense for us to give that dollar. It's just, I just think it should be voluntary. Yes, it's not something that should be mandatory. If it's voluntary, then I think it's a very good idea. Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much, and I guess we'll be right back. So thank you very much, viewers. We just take some short break and we'll be right back with answers from, questions from our viewers online as well. Yes. And moving on, we'd like to take some few questions from the moderator. That's me as well. Before we move on to the questions coming from our viewers. So still on our questions.
Yes.
This time around is regarding entertainment.
Hey, okay. I like entertainment.
I'm sure you've seen how boring this school becomes regarding entertainment.
Yes.
So, should in case you win and become the president, what plans do you have regarding entertainment?
Exciting ones. So, first off, I want to be able to actually collaborate with certain external sponsors to organize, like people like companies like the telecommunication companies, for instance,
Okay.
to organize events where we can have artists come through and actually perform. I think we haven't really had much of that buzz in a while, so we need that. That's notwithstanding. I also feel like, well, you said it all. You said it all. We are usually very, very, very stressed during the semester. I think at least once a while, that would help us de-stress. We are looking at other options, yes, but in the long run, we want some. I don't like to make promises
Exactly.
that I cannot keep, and so that's why I'm telling you that I'll work on this. This is something that I know I can, and I've already started making preparations towards.
Okay.
But there are other plans in the pipeline as well. Yes.
Okay, so do you have any plans for sports during maybe the administration?
For sports, yes. I want our sports galas to be bigger, to be much nicer.
Okay.
You know, I especially loved the way current provincial president of Hope, Honorable Adom, he does a commentary thing. Yes, I'm very sorry. I'm very tired.
No worry.
Yes, so people are playing. It's really nice. I think we could do much better. You know, we could actually get. Perhaps we could even organize it at the stadium or something. Seats, you know, the real deal, the experience. Okay. But then, of course, that comes in when we're able to liaise properly with management and the management of those facilities. So once again, we do have big plans, realistic plans, and we are making strides to seeing that this happens. Yes. For sports, do I put this under sports? I want us to work on a gymnasium. I want you guys to have a gymnasium, something that will be affordable, something that can keep people healthy. Yes, I want the SRC to put up something like that. So that's something I really also want to work towards. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so
Basically,
thank
that's
you.
it.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all regarding entertainment of the school and sports. So moving to security aspects. Do you think the district police should be involved in security around campus? Or you think the security men on campus are actually doing well?
I'm not going to lie. I think our security men do a fabulous job. I'm really not going to lie. Yeah. Yesterday, when the demonstration happened,
okay,
there's one man, I think we call him Major or something of the sort. Very nice man. Heavy built, dark man, quite elderly.
Okay.
He came around and was trying to control things. Came around with two of, I think he's the head of security, probably.
Okay.
Yes, they do a fantastic job. That notwithstanding, I think that sometimes plenty fish no spoil soup.
Okay, sure.
Yes. So if we can get occasional support from the district police, that would be nice. At least maybe people that patrol. There used to be a patrol along this road. I don't know if it's still there.
And even mostly at Trafalgar.
Yes, even here, there's in the evening, there's a barricade thing here. There's a barrier, artificial barrier being created. So Hey, all barriers are artificial.
Yes,
But
exactly.
anyway, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think we can work on that. They can liaise together and offer us much better protection.
Okay, so right now you're saying they can liaise together and offer much protection. So if you have plans to involve them together with the security men to maintain security, how would you really go about it? Are you going to follow some kind of dialogue to get to maybe the
Everything is dialogue, but we first. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
don't worry.
Everything is dialogue, but we first follow up with letters,
Okay.
right? We officially inform them that this and this is what we would like to do. Can you give us a time? Can we book an appointment with you? Because they are busy people too. They are busy protecting the whole of whole. So we have a sit down with them, we talk things out, and we see how best the two of them can work together. Yes, that's what I think we should do.
Okay, so actually, our next questions are based on the welfare of the students. So the question is, what do you think? Okay, let me not go there. Let me start from the right place. So apart from the SRC scholarship, what other support is there from the SRC? I think you've already engaged that, right?
Yes.
So I'll just move on to the next one. How do you intend to raise funds for the SRC aside dues?
Aside dues,
Yes.
we plan to write to companies for sponsorship, mostly before the year ends, so that they can include us in the next year's budgets.
Okay.
That's what we really plan to do. That's one. Two, we want, under my administration, should I be elected,
Okay.
we want to have, how best to put it, we want to have a project, something that will be our legacy as an SRC, something that will impact communities around. We are health and allied students.
Yeah.
The community needs to feel that we are vested in knowledge. We are actually making an impact. And we are going to raise funds from this. We are going to contact different NGOs. We are going to contact different companies to contribute to this cause. So basically, that's what we plan to do, write to companies. Write to companies. Then, of course, there's also the bit about souvenirs. Yes, that is something we are used to, so I don't need to explain it into detail. Yes.
Okay, so a quick follow-up question on that. So, people want to know if you are considered in the next administration. Do you have any plans for increasing the SRC dues?
I do not have any plans for increasing the SRC dues.
So you are willing to maintain the price
Yes.
of the SRC dues and
Yes.
go in for sponsorship from maybe companies to support the dues?
Yes, the country is already hard as it is. People are not being able to pay their fees, etc. If I do that, if I increase SRC dues, then how can we even will if our school fees are also going higher?
Yeah.
It creates a very interesting paradox. I am not a very big fan of paradox. It's very advisable for me to do that. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. And actually, how do you intend to channel the grievances of students to management, should in case you become the president?
Dialogue. Dialogue. The answer to everything is dialogue. I believe people have to talk. If we talk and we talk well, we communicate. Well, not just talking. Because, I mean, two techno loudspeakers can be playing and you won't hear anything. Yes. So communication, the right avenues of negotiation, I think that would do a very wonderful job. Yes. It's all about dialogue.
Okay. And the next question is, students' involvement in SRC issues have been low. So how do you want to close that gap?
How do I want to close that gap?
Yes. You realize that mostly there are always a whole lot of SRC, maybe programs and other things. And even some parliamentary sitting, you barely get students attending and all those things. So if you should get the position of the president, how do you intend to fill that gap too? So how do you intend to close this whole gap? Some people talk about transportation.
Yes. On the issue of the current head of the publicity committee, Rosemond, she's done a wonderful job. The publicity here has been crazy.
Yeah.
And crazy in a good sense, of course. Yes, it's been wonderful. Transport, Ebenezer Adomatano has done a wonderful job. That girl has just, He's serious. He's
Yeah,
a serious
very
guy.
serious.
Yes, yes. So there's those two. But then again, for the involvement in student activities, I think students have had a general loss of enthusiasm in activities because maybe they do not see what the SRC is doing for them. They feel like after all, they're not being a few. Yes, but for me, what I really want to do is to get an effective communication system, for instance.
Okay.
Because as of now, what we do, for instance, is to do WhatsApp statuses and groups sharing and all of that, right? But essentially, what I want to do is, it's actually in my short-term policies I shared today.
Okay,
A multi-purpose bot and a Telegram channel. A Telegram channel can contain a lot of, in fact, can contain the whole school.
Yeah.
So we can put notifications in there, we can conduct polls on certain things. People can have an active interest. It doesn't only have to be a very nice flyer and then you share.
Yeah.
You are on top of everything. Yes. And then, of course, we can do the publicity in blocks. We can have people handling publicity for different schools. We can have a class representatives page that is very active, that we always make sure that there's that liaison. People can actually remind people about that. And again, I think my administration, should it come to pass, is one that is going to make sure that people feel the impact of the SRC. And it is very hard not to commit to a course if you feel indebted to that course in some way. So that's what I think it will happen, just plain old motivation. Yeah.
This question is not really going to be an easy one per se, but I have to bring it up. So what do you think of your opponent and his policies?
My opponent, well, Frank Chatty is an interesting person. Very, very focused and interesting person. Yes, he's very interesting. I think that he is a formidable opponent. He's very innovative. He's resilient. He's strong. He's a worthy opponent.
Okay.
And for his policies, I think that they are nice policies. They sound very nice. Yeah. That's it.
Okay, so with all the wonderful description, or should I say wonderful comments you've passed about your opponents,
Yeah.
I believe both of you are in the same class, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, that's so nice.
Yeah.
So should, in case you become the SRC president,
Yeah.
do you have any plans of maybe granting him some position, or do you have any plans of working with him?
That's a very interesting question. So we are in the same class. He's been my mate for 4 years. Yes.
Okay.
Well, we are very good friends. I like to think we are very good friends. I know we are very good friends. Deep down in my heart. Yes. Politics is a bit somebody sometimes,
Yeah.
but I know we are very good friends. I think basically what's happening is that we both have different ideas on how to run the SRC. That's why we're in different camps.
Okay.
But nonetheless, we are all fighting towards a common goal. I mean, the fact that we're even in the same class proves that we have something in common.
Okay.
So we are basically fighting towards a common goal. If there is the opportunity for him to serve in my administration, if I win, I don't see why not we shouldn't offer such an invitation to him. Because he also has something to offer. For someone to decide to stand for SRC president, it's not a small thing.
Yeah.
And he's made it this far. That's not someone you should play with. That's a formidable person. That's a whole asset and resource. So yes, that's what I'll do.
So that means if there's any position there that you think he can really handle it, you add him to your administration to handle that. Okay, so
Yeah.
to the vice versa, should, in case
Yes.
you lose,
Yes.
and your opponent wins, and he asks you to join him in his administration, would you be willing to take part?
Do unto others as you want others to do unto you. Why would I extend him an invitation and I would act weird if he extends me an invitation? As I've said earlier, I think we both have the goodwill of the students of UAS in mind.
Okay.
The only thing that differs is the methods. But if at the end of the day we can work together to maximize that. I think in pharmacology they call that synergy, right? Two different things working together too. Yeah, so if we can have that effect, it would be great. Yeah.
That's nice. So you're willing to be in administration with him. Either you win or you lose.
I am.
Okay, so thank you very much. And that brings us to the end of our questions for today.
Moderator. Yes.
So maybe probably a closing statement to our viewers as well.
Yeah.
Just a minute.
Okay.
I'll just probably give you some few minutes to prepare for your
Closing statement.
exactly.
Before that, can I ask where you did your hair? Where you did your hair?
Oh yeah.
Where?
Oh, actually, that's behind Hope Polytechnic University. Yeah.
Is there a name for the?
Yeah, I think the salon is called Auntie Betty Salon. Yeah, just around Alex Davis.
It looks really nice. I think I recommend the place to a few of my friends.
A few of your girlfriends, right?
A few of my friends.
Okay,
yes,
sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
But yes, if girlfriends means female friends, then yes.
Okay,
totally.
sure.
Yes.
Okay, so just a little thing I forgot about before your closing statement.
Yes.
Why do you look scared?
I do not look scared.
But your eyes.
I thought we were done. Yes, I thought we were done. That was right.
Okay, so after all what has been said,
Yes.
how sure are you that you can achieve all what you've said?
100%.
Probably in your policy.
100%.
100%.
100%. I don't put things out there that I know I can do. And the people in my team are people that I trust to do the job.
Okay, especially looking at the fact that
Yes.
maybe election has delayed one way or the other.
Yes.
So you wouldn't be having much time in your term of office.
Yes.
Are you really sure you can carry out all what you've brought to us?
I can attempt to carry all of them out. If I'm not able to carry all of them out, I will at least start something. It's rather unfortunate that elections have delayed, yes. I'm not going to lie. You are spot on when you say that. But we'll put in place the measures to actually start those things. We will work using those policies. We will let them come to light.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think at this juncture I can release you. So back to your closing statements to our viewers and probably the family of UHAS.
Okay. My name is Roger Max Kodutret, as you probably already know. I'm a fourth year medical student who is running for federal UHAS SRC president. Come October 18th, we will have to vote for a new president, and I'm hoping that you will choose me, especially if you've been able to watch this whole session. The fact of the matter is that I think we are past the days when people bring lofty policies that we know we cannot really achieve. I believe the students of UAS are much too astute and knowledgeable to be swindled by petty propaganda, by very flimsy excuses and things that do not hold water. So I'm hoping that come October 18th, you'll make the right choice, and by the right choice I mean me. Yes. So please watch out. I will release my policy documents, and I've already started releasing my policy flyers. Yes. My number is not hard to get at all. If for anything, you can text me. I do not air people. So thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you very much, and we are really grateful for joining us this evening.
Thank you too for having me.
Surely. So with all that being said, we'll bring this whole interview to an end. So yes, thank you viewers for having time to spend with us. And yes, this was a live program altogether, but don't forget you can go back and watch it again. All what you need to do is just to subscribe to UHAS-based TV. Don't only subscribe on YouTube, but also on Facebook and other social media handles. Thank you very much. And once again, my name is Akuba Mefia Comfort.